I would like to introduce Bobbie Walton. And inside of your program, you will find a nice introduction to her career, her lengthy and impressive career. She's been involved in, truly, she's been involved in the work of people all of her life. And if one thing I'd have to say about Bobbie Walton, it is that she is a woman of integrity. And I had an opportunity to get to know that woman of integrity by being involved with her through, of course, being involved with Now, and also being involved in the work through her campaign for the Michigan Senate. She was absolutely amazing, and I was so impressed with her and her incredibly hopeful and constant power as a woman, going door to door. I did the photography on her campaign, which was a lot of fun, and she had the message, she had the issues, as is often the case, having the knowledge, having the intellect, having everything that you need to have on your side is not always what is needed to win an election, especially when gerrymandering makes the odds against that message go heavily against you. And that was true in the case of her election. Her opponent was given his seat through gerrymandering. He was given that opportunity to win because he was given a district to favor him. And that has happened in Michigan through gerrymandering. It is a serious problem. And that is one of the many issues that she's taken up and is really pushing to change in this state for the benefit of all of us. She is an amazing woman. I am so grateful to have her as a friend. She has really been a mentor to me, truly. Thank you, Bobbie, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, gee, now I have to be amazing. I always hated it when they said, oh, you're the smartest in the room. And I say, well, now I've got to be the smartest in the room. You know, it's sort of a judgmental thing. I always enjoy coming to spend time with you. I often say that in my work to bring sanity to the world, in my version of it anyway, the Episcopalians, I'm an Episcopalian, they have to be pushed. The Unitarians, I have to run fast to keep up with. Because you guys are on the leading edge of what I would call justice. When I was baptized in Episcopalian, I often say the best part of the promises I made as both a child and as an adult, was that I would respect the dignity of every human being. And I think when we talk about Elizabeth Cady Stanton, or we talk about any of the leaders, the feminist leaders, or even the male leaders who have done good for human beings, they worked first for the dignity of every human being. You know, Martin Luther King, he did everything he could to bring his group of people, the black people that had been ostracized and made slaves, he brought them dignity. If you've ever seen the play called I Am a Man, and it was about the march that they had in, I believe it was in Memphis, over the garbage strike. That play was very powerful in showing you how Martin Luther King brought dignity to the garbage collectors of Memphis. The feminist movement is about the same thing. It's about bringing dignity to the lives of women. It's about respecting the fact that when women are educated, women are given free rein to express their creative talents and their intelligence and their power, the whole economy thrives, the whole community thrives. Enslaving anybody keeps the community down. You can probably see in the brochure that tells about my career, such as it is, I focused on government. Government, to me, is where we all come together. We all come together to share resources. And the three things that government is charged to do for us is to keep us safe, to help us allocate our resources that we share, and to bring justice. And in the Episcopal tradition, and I'm sure it's the same in the Unitarian, we talk about our work in the community as both the yin and yang of mercy and justice. Well, the people that I work with in my social justice work, many of them focus on the mercy part, delivering food packages and water and clothing and fighting for homelessness. I mean, they really are doing the work of mercy. There's within me the anger that says we've got to change the system that causes this to be true. We have to change the way that we are allocating our resources, the way that we are deciding what there is about safety that is important, that we need to emphasize. Keeping people out by building a wall, arresting people and removing them from your community, that is not my idea of safety. And by taking people who have been contributing to your economy, to your community, to your culture, and removing them, you're also depriving your community of the richness that they bring. And believe me, we will see a drop in the economy from removing people from our economy that are contributing to the economy. And the justice part of it, to me, we have to protect our courts. There's an attack on our courts. We have to protect the law that we have, that we abide by, which keeps us all respecting of each other's privacy and each other's rights. We have to also protect the fact that our media is how we hold our elected officials accountable. Right now, there is an attack on our media. They're trying to make the media look like something that is against us. I don't believe that's so. I believe the media is there. We can take or leave what they write, and some of it we necessarily don't believe. Some of it we may see is not true. Some of it may lead us to doing a further research and finding out, is it true, looking at the data. So the three of safety, resources, and justice, that's how we stick together as a community. And if we are taught that government is the problem and not the solution to our problems, then we are the ones that allow corporations to take over the administration of our government. We are the ones that allow the private sector to come in and make money off of our public schools when we're supposed to be educating our children using our public resources. We are the ones that will allow the prison industry to thrive because we have such demented drug policy. There was a suggestion made the other night. We had a NOW meeting, and somebody suggested that we show a film called Chasing the Dragon, which was about the opiate addiction wars and what's going on. And Terry and Kim and Nina and I had a long discussion in the parking lot about that, because to my way of thinking, we don't need to be following and supporting the drug wars. The drug wars have made us poorer. The drug wars have made our society indebted to the prison industry, where we lock people up. They don't have an opportunity to experience success in their lives because they've been put behind bars. We no longer try to bring them the education and the kinds of skills that they might have to work when they get out. We don't provide the kind of follow-up when they are let out of jail. And I think that we are locking people up for things that are health issues and not crime issues. So why would we emphasize watching a movie about the opiates when we know that part of this is a health issue that needs to be addressed differently? So I guess what I'm telling you is we as a community, respecting the dignity of other human beings, come together to make our government accountable, to show up in Lansing and protest when there's something being done that we don't consider right for the dignity of all human beings, that we stick together, that we stand together. And this is a message that I'm hearing here today. We are all together in the fight, or in the battle, or in the challenge, because individually we don't have the power that we have all together. And so the one thing we have to really avoid is having anybody break us up because we're all completely different people. I believe that God experiences being God by understanding our own lives. I believe that God understands who God is because God created mankind in order to experience what it's like, to what it is to live on this earth. If we don't share our lives with each other, which is the purpose of the song, it's the purpose of the poetry, it's the purpose of our stories, it's the purpose of the lives that we lead, if we don't share those stories, we don't understand and know and care about each other and give each other the dignity that we deserve. And so I guess I come to you today saying, as I sit here and listen to your service up to this point, I tried to jump in where you already were, as opposed to coming to you with something that I think you need to hear to come someplace else. You don't need to go anyplace else. You're already there. But I'm going to read to you from our Book of Common Prayer in our Episcopal Church. We have a collect, which is part of the service that applies to, it's like a prayer that applies to a particular issue. And this one is the collect for social justice. And it reads, "Grant us grace fearlessly to contend against evil and to make no peace with oppression, and that we may reverently use our freedom. Help us to employ it in maintenance of justice in our communities and among the nations to the glory of your holy name." That, to me, symbolizes exactly what social justice is about. We are reflections of our Maker. We are reflections of the God who made us. We are reflections of each other. And I will always remember that I heard one time, and I incorporated in my own beliefs, that you love your neighbor as yourself, not as you want to be loved yourself, but as your neighbor is yourself. So every one of you in this room is me. I am you. And what we have to do is recognize our dignity, go forth and protect that dignity, and stick together and standing up to the people who would take our power from us. And thank you.